Hi guys, let's look at the paper 3 calculator for Edexcel GCSE Maths for year 2023. Question 1, 35% as a fraction. You know percent means out of 100, so it can be written as 35 over 100. No need to simplify. A quarter of 28 is just divided by 4. Factors of 12, what goes into 12? Just pick any two and write them as your answer. Simplify 2m times 3, just multiply the numbers, don't forget m. Find the square root of 1.69, so you have to do it on a calculator. Let's look at question 6. You need to draw a quadrilateral with no lines of symmetry, so don't forget quadrilateral is a four-sided shape. No lines of symmetry, no rotational symmetry. Rotational symmetry order of 2 has to be parallelogram. Draw the corners first, join them with straight lines. This is what you need to have there. Question 7, the table shows the total number of apples and oranges. You need to compare how many more you have. Just add all the apples together, add all the oranges together, subtract to find how many more apples. There is a sequence for you. You need to write down the next two terms of this sequence. You can see the numbers go up in 5. Just add 5 to get the next sequence, another 5 to get the sequence after. Question B, you need to prove that 50 is not in a sequence. Explain. So Jim is wrong because, as you notice, the numbers in the sequence end with 3 and 8 only. Question 9, you just need to write the number of faces and the edges of the prism. So don't mistake edges with the vertices. Edges are just lines, straight lines which connect the faces. Here's a list of 8 numbers. You need to write the probability of 7. 7 is not there, so that means it's impossible. So we're going to go for 0 and put this across there. The next question asks you the numbers greater than 5. Let's see how many of those we have. Well, that's going to be 5, 6, 8, and 9, 4. 4 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 8, so that's just half of them, yeah? So where we're going to put the cross? Right in the middle. Find the probability that Kim picks the even number. Let's just find all the even numbers. 5 of them there, out of 8. So as a fraction, it is 5 over 8. Question 11. It's a multiplication question. Sunita wants to make 35 picture frames. She needs 4 nails for each frame. She has 3 boxes and 48 nails in each. Let's multiply to find the total number of nails. Let's multiply how many she needs. She needs 140 nails. She already has 144 nails. Yes, she has enough. Question 12, write 60 as a fraction of 1,000 meters. Just write 60 over 1,000. Simplify. And you go to your simplified fraction, 3 over 50. Here you have a map with the 3 positions of the dot, and you got the scale. 1 centimeter represents 150 meters. Okay, let's just measure them and mark who walks this. So Parveen walks 5 centimeters and 4 centimeters. Susan walks A to C, which is 7. So you will need to use the ruler here, of course. Okay, we need to find how many more meters Parveen walked more than Susan. Okay, let's just add Parveen's total distance, 5 plus 4. And how many more means take away. Let's take away this distance from Susan's. That is 2 centimeters. So multiply it by the scale, 150. You got the real measurement, 300 meters. Next, we need to find the bearing of A from C. So it's important where you start. C is a starting point. So this is when you have north line. Measure clockwise. Use the protractor. And that is 288 degrees. Here is the shoe size of each of 12 boys in the class. Find the median. So you know the median is a middle number, and you need to put the numbers in order. They're already in order. Just cross out from both sides. You end up with two numbers in the middle, 7. Don't add them up, just 7 is your median. For the range, highest minus lowest. So that is 5. So next question asks you to compare the distribution of shoe sizes of the boys with the distribution of the shoe sizes of the girls. Basically compare their medians and the ranges. As you see, for boys they're higher, so you have to be specifically say the median of the boys is higher than the girls, and also say that the range of the boys is higher than the range for the girls. Don't just say the shoe size is bigger. Don't make this assumption. Just say something specifically about range and median. So here, just work out, do it on a calculator. If you have a fraction sign, just put that and do the whole thing in one go. If you don't have a fraction symbol on your calculator, you just do the top numbers first and then the bottom numbers and divide. So in this question, you need to draw the isosceles triangle with the area of 12 centimeters squared. So that is the formula: base times height divided by 2. Let's just, for example, if the base is 8, height is 3, that will be exactly 12. The area will be 12 centimeters squared, or base can be 6 and height can be 4. 6 times 4, 24 divided by 2 is 12. So let's just pick the last one. Let's just draw the base of 6 centimeters. And the height, remember the height should be perpendicular height. 4, and here you go, this is our triangle with them 2 equal sides. Question 17, expand, so multiply by 3 what is inside the brackets. You get 12 minus 6x. Solve, apply opposite calculations, times by 4 first, and then you will divide this by 3. So you get 16. You can check this by replacing y by 16. 3 times 16, and then divide by 4, you get 12. So correct. So factorize means you need to find a common factor for the terms. Here 2 is the common factor for the numbers. Put it outside of the bracket. Here you go, 2 bracket 2p plus 3 bracket. So correct, you need to round here, round to 2 significant figures. Significant figures are not zeros in a whole number. So 2500. In the second, you have to only keep 1 on 0 number. Do cross out the zeros in the decimal part because they are significant. So next question, you need to work out the fraction of 3/8 first. You can do 3/8 times 400, or 400 divided by 8 times by 3, so that's 150. And then find the number of the green counters. Just take them away from the total, which is 400. 168, and needs to show this number as a percentage. First show it as a fraction, 168 over 400 times by 100, and that will give you percentage 42%. Right, this question is all about angles and parallel lines. Let's see what we have. So we've got isosceles triangle. When 2 sides are equal, they're marked there. And we have 2 parallel lines with the arrows on them. We also know that one of the angles is 56 degrees, and we need to work out this angle, which I marked as a question. So I need to give reason for each stage. Okay, so let's see what we can find here. First, you see it goes across looking angle. They are vertical opposite angles, they are equal. Okay, that means that one is also P is also 56 degrees, and then this is your triangle. Total of the angles in the triangle is 180 degrees. We're going to use this rule and find out the base angles, which are equal. So 180 minus 56, and then divide by 2 because they're equal. 62 degrees. Okay, now we're left just to we find one more angle and we are done. So that's just checking that all angles add up to 180 in a triangle. Okay, CQP, I'm gonna put that in green now, and QPR are the same because they are angles on parallel lines. You see it looks like a Z shape, we call it alternate angles. So they're both going to be 56 degrees, and because alternate angles are equal, 56. Okay, all we need to do now is just to add 56 and 62 together to find the angle, which is a question here. 56 plus 62 gives you 118 degrees. So this is your answer. So you go, we use the 3 different rules here to work out the angles. The first one, vertical opposite angles, second, angles in a triangle, and the third one, alternate angles. Question 21, work out the common multiple. Don't mistake it with the factors multiple when you just keep adding the same number to the number to get multiples. Like I do, add 24 every time to 24 to get multiples of 24. Just write a few numbers. You might have to carry on more later, but just write a few like this. Okay, and do the same with 56. We need to add 56 to 56. Oh, I put 54 there. It should be 56 plus 56 plus 56. Okay, keep adding 56. Yeah, I just corrected it. And that'll give you 168. You can see 168 is a common multiple. Question 22, we've got a triangle here, and we need to work out one side when the other two sides are given. That is Pythagoras, and this is the formula for that. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. C has to be the longest side, A and B the shorter, the other two shorter sides. You have to rearrange it because we're finding the shorter side. So square the sides, take away, and square root. Don't forget the square root at the end, 7.5 centimeters. Question 23, we're going to do substitution here. Instead of m, we're going to put -3. Okay, and first, remember bit mass, we're going to do indices. So -3 squared is 9. If you're using this, doing it on a calculator, make sure you put brackets around -3. And then you do multiplication and then taking away. So t is 25. So here we need to rearrange the formula, make p the subject, take away -4 from both sides. We need to isolate p from any other numbers, and then you're gonna divide each side by 3, and here you go, the answer is there. So question 24 is on ratio. So we've got 54 counters, and we've got some information about Rick, Selma, and Tony. So what do you know about them? So Rick has some counters, let's put x, Selma twice as many, 2x, Tony has 6, counted less, 2x minus 6. Let's write this again, x, 2x minus 6, and all together they have 54. So what can we do to find x? Of course, we can make an equation here. Let's add all the x's together. 5x minus 6 equals 54. Solve it, x is 12. So once x is 12, Selma is twice as much, that's going to be 24, and 20, we need to take 6 from it, which will give you 18 counters. Okay, one more thing to do. We need to show the ratio of Rick and Tony as 1 to p. You know, like we do 1 to n here, just instead of n, we're using p. So let's just write that again. Rick to Tony is 12 to 18, but we need to have the first number as 1, divide by 12, both sides, and you get 1 to 1.5. Done. Question 25 is about the Best Buy. We've got chic decor and style papers. We need to work out which is a better deal. Let's just work out the cost for 15 rolls each. So multiply the first one by 5, 180. For style papers, we're going to do the same, times by 3, 210, but we're going to apply 12% discount to it. So 12% off for the calculator paper is the same as 88% times by 210, which is quicker to do on the calculator. Rather than find 12% separately and subtract it, just do 88% times 210. So you can see the first deal was the better one. Question 26, we have grouped data here. Okay, frequencies, and Amos draws a frequency polygon, so it's just below. So remember, when we have group data, we only plot the midpoints everywhere. Let's find two mistakes. You see there is a mistake in the scale 40 is missing on the scale, frequency scale. Okay, and let's just check all the midpoints to see if they're correctly plotted. You can see the first one is okay, third one, fourth one, the last one is wrong, should be 45. We have 50 there. Here you go, that's your second correction. You need to write the last midpoint should be 45. Question 27 in distance, time and speed. Okay, Jessica runs 15 minutes at an average speed of 6 miles per hour. Can you see there is minutes and hours? We need to use the same units here. First of all, the formula for distance, time and speed is we can write it in a triangle. We're going to multiply to find the distance, time by speed. Okay, and we're going to find the total distance Jessica runs first, and then we're going to work out the speed for Amy. Right, let's find the total distance she runs, Jessica runs, multiplying. Yeah, so first we're changing minutes into hours. 15 minutes is the same as 0.25 of the hour, so please don't write 0.15, it's 0.25. And 40 minutes is 2 over 3. The reason I put as a fraction because it's a recurring decimal, so I'd rather use it as a fraction. Okay, let's work out the distance now. Multiply time by distance. You see I'm using now time in hours. So 1.5 mile in the first part of her journey, and 2/3 times by 9 will give you 6 miles for the second of the journey. Let's add these miles together, 7.5 miles. So now Amy, remember Amy ran the same distance, so we're going to use that time for Amy. Amy's speed is distance divided by time, so 7.5 miles divided by, let's change that minutes into hours again, that's 3/4 or 0.75 hours. So we're going to use 0.75 hours here, which will give you 10 miles per hour. So here you go, Amy's average speed is 10 miles per hour. Okay, so question 28, the diagram shows rectangle STUV, TQU and CRV are straight lines. All measurements are in centimeters. The area of the trapezium, the shaded one, is a centimeter squared. We need to show that area is 2x squared plus 20x. Okay, so first let's write the formula for the area of the rectangle. That's just length times width. As you notice, we don't have numbers or values, we have expressions for each side. So let's just multiply lengths by width. So 3x plus 5 is the length. Multiply this by 4x. Okay, so here it's just kind of we're doing expanding the brackets because we need to multiply each term inside the bracket by 4x. That will give you 12x squared plus 20x. Okay, so this is the area of the rectangle. Second, we're going to find the area of the trapezium, non-shaded one, because you know the shaded one already. So which is a plus b divided by 2 times by height. A and b are the parallel sides in the trapezium, top and the bottom here. So 2x plus 3x divided by 2 times by 4x. Simplified, 5x divided by 2 times by 4x. And eventually you will get 10x squared. Okay, finally, question 3, we're going to just take away the total area of the rectangle from the area of the trapezium. Should be not shaded trapezium, I put shaded. So 2x squared plus 20x minus 10x. And we will be left with the area of the shaded trapezium, which is 2x squared plus 20x. Exactly what they said. And we needed to show that. So here you go, we just showed that. Okay, question 29, need to change 30 meters per second to kilometers per hour. Just need to convert each measurement into the new one. Times by 60. And by 60 again. So meters into kilometers, we're going to divide by 1,000. So the answer is 108 kilometers per hour. Question 30 is a reverse percentages. So we need to find the value of the car before the decrease. So if 13,600 represents 85% of the price, what is 100% of the price? We can work out 1% first, divide by 85, which gives you 160 pounds, and then multiply by 100, which will give us the total price, 100%, what it was before.